Aloha kakayaka, aloha awokea, Lulani Arquette ko inoa o Hawaii ku'uhome, aka ua noa aui Vancouver, Washington. Ina umi kumalua makahiki yaku nei. O ka ohana Kamea Moku Waipa Parker, ko'u ohana Hawaii mai Waimea, the maka mokupuni o Hawaii. My name, first greetings, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lulani Arquette. I am the president CEO of the Native Arts and Cultures Foundation. My home is Hawaii, but I have been living up here in Vancouver, Washington, near Portland, Oregon for about 12 years now. My family on my Hawaiian side, which is my father's side, is the Kamea Moku Waipa Parker line from Waimea on the largest island in Hawaii. And on my mother's side, I'm of mixed race and from the Lytle Gee family that comes through Pennsylvania and then Pittsburgh and then to South Dakota. We just want to welcome each of you who come from indigenous lands and communities from all four directions. And we are thrilled that there has been such a good response to the call for applicants for our LIFT program. You know, this program is really special to us in that it uplifts individuals who are in newer stages of your careers and who can hopefully benefit from our support and services to really help advance your arts practice. We want to make this application process clear and helpful to you. And our program staff have put together this informational session to do just that. Our intention is to support you, provide you guidance when needed, and be of service. You know, we really do our work embracing these values of respect for difference, compassion for one another, and really sincere gratitude to be able to work with our Native peoples, such as yourself. We do our work together with you to really advance cultural knowledge, community well-being, and illuminate truth and justice through the arts. And to achieve this, NACF has formulated these priorities to advance Native artists and culture bearers' work, increase the visibility and creative power of Native peoples to really affect social and environmental change. And also to create a thriving national center for Native arts and cultures right here in Portland, Oregon, where we had a building and land rematriated to the Native Arts and Cultures Foundation. And we're very grateful for that. So I wish you the best in the application process for the second year of our LIFT program. And we'll now turn it over to the programs team. Mahalo nui.
Thank you, Lulani, and good morning, everybody. Please note that closed captioning is available. Just go to the bottom of your page, click on the live transcript button, and then select closed captioning. My name is Ruben Forqueñi. I am the Director of Transformative Change Programs here at the Foundation. I am Yaqui, Mayo, and Mexican American. I live here in Portland, Oregon, where our offices are. And this metropolitan area rests upon the unceded territory of the Multnomah, Wasco, Cowlitz, Cathlamet, Clackamas, bands of Chinook, Tualatin, Kalapuya, Molalla, Siletz, and many other tribes who made their homes here along the two rivers which flow through the city, which you can see a picture of here. And today there are upwards of 60,000 Native people living in the area from more than 350 tribes from all across the US. I want to talk to you about our program LIFT, Early Career Support for Native Artists, but first, let's talk a bit about who the Native Arts and Cultures Foundation is. In this slide, you'll see a timeline of our work. We launched our programming in 2010 And over the next 10 years, our work featured a number of fellowship programs and the Community Inspiration Program, both of which served as a platform for our work moving forward. In the 10th year, we took a step back to do some reflection, do a little planning, and we did some research. And we learned many things during that research, but a couple of things that we learned are that first, support for emerging artists is crucial. To become good at anything can take thousands of hours at work. It's really tough to be an artist, and especially if you're an emerging artist, and it can be even tougher to find resources for your work. We've also seen how important artists and culture bearers are to our communities. They maintain cultural and artistic practices, they inspire us, they look for new ways of creating, and in that way, they often take on leadership roles in our communities. So based on these things, we developed a new focus for our work to catalyze Native peoples, artists, and culture bearers to influence positive social and cultural change. Out of that, we developed this program, Lift Early Career Support for Native Artists. Our hope is that this program uplifts emerging artists, moving them into new places in the career, and hopefully to launch them into the next phase of their practices. Last year, in our first year, we made 20 awards. You can see them all listed here, coming from multiple tribes and multiple states, multiple disciplines. Our awards were equitably distributed by gender, amongst the LGBTQ2S community, by tribe, by geography, and by age. So what is the LIFT program and what does it include? Well, first of all, LIFT is a slate of services. Part of that is financial support. The award is for $10,000 over the course of the one-year award period. Also part of the program is that award recipients will receive professional development training. These trainings are designed to provide education around project management, small business development, career advancement, and artistic development. We'll also provide support around culturally appropriate evaluation. This is to help you develop your project deliverables and outcomes, and it also helps us to determine how effective our programming is. We want to express too that at any point during the project, please consider NACF as an advisor, as a co-planner and a co-facilitator to help you realize the development and presentation of the work. So who is eligible to apply? Well, first of all, artists must be early in their artistic career with 10 years or less experience. This can be challenging to define, but it could be that you are a younger person between 18 and 30 years old, but you could also be older than 30 years old, but you've just started your career later in life. Another way to get at this is that artists must not have received a singular award of $10,000 or more in their career. Of course, artists must be enrolled members or citizens of federally or state recognized tribes, from American Indian tribes, Alaska Native corporations, or of Native Hawaiian ancestry, and you'll be asked to provide valid documentation. You must not be enrolled in a university or higher education institution during the 12-month period of the award. And please note that you must propose new work. So, in order to apply, you must go to an online portal to submit your application. After a review by a peer panel who are made up of leadership from out the field, including artists and arts workers, nonprofit workers, curators, we will select 20 projects to receive the award, and you will be notified late in July and the award period will then begin late summer 2022 and move into midsummer of 2023. So again, you do have to submit your application online, and I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to my colleague, Laura Matalka, and she's going to go more in depth about what that looks like.
Hello, my name is Laura Matalka. I'm the program manager here at Native Arts and Cultures Foundation. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I'm a citizen of the Chickasaw Nation and currently calling in from Portland, Oregon. Thank you all so much for being here with us to learn a little bit more about the NACF LIFT program. I'm here to walk you through how to submit an application for the LIFT program. Your first step is to go to the NACF website and click on the link to the LIFT program. Here on the home page for LIFT, you'll find information about the program and a link to the eligibility and criteria for the application. This page contains detailed information about our program services and offerings, applicant eligibility requirements, a timeline with some of the major deadlines during the open call, an overview of the application so that you know what to expect, the selection process and review criteria that we use by our panelists, and some answers to frequently asked questions. Please ensure that you read all of this information carefully. You can even download this page as a PDF so that you can have it on your desktop or print it out and reference it while you're working on the online application. Once you're ready, click on Submit an Application. From there, you'll be taken to NACF's application portal in the Submittable website. Scroll down to the LIFT application. You can click on the title or click on the Submit button. And from there, you'll be asked to enter in your existing submittable credentials if you have them, or you can sign up for a new account if you need to. Accounts are free and very easy to sign up for. Once you've logged into Submittable, you'll begin the application by entering in your first and last name, and then in the next section, answering a series of questions to determine your eligibility for the LIFT program. Our eligibility requirements are outlined here in the application form, and you can also reference those back on the NACF website. After you've entered in all of your responses for the eligibility section, if you're eligible, the application form will then open up and begin with the contact information. You'll enter in your best contact information, your email, your phone, and your mailing address. In the next section, you'll complete a short demographic survey. Please note that all of your survey responses here are maintained in strict confidence and have no bearing on your individual applications. We encourage you to complete the survey as the information compiled here will help NACF to advocate more effectively for Native artists. Next, you'll be asked to provide detailed information about your proposed project. You'll provide a title, a brief summary, any historical or present day context that would be helpful for reviewers to know and understand the project, the themes that you plan to address with the project, specific project activities, and what the role of the applicant artist will be within that, how your previous artistic work relates to the project, and your plans for community engagement or public presentation for the work. You also have an option to enter in anything else that's very critical for NACF and the reviewers to know related to your project, and then provide a 12-month timeline with any major markers and deadlines for your project to be completed by July 31st, 2023. For your narrative responses here, you can type directly into the text boxes or copy and paste your responses from another document. Just ensure that you pay attention to the word limits here, and if you did copy and paste, that you didn't lose any text or special formatting when you transferred it over to the application form. Your form will automatically save as you're working on it, but when you're in the narrative section, we highly recommend that you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the application and click Save Draft every few minutes just to ensure that you don't lose your work. Next, you will complete a simple budget form showing how you will allocate the $10,000 award funds towards your proposed project. Note that a minimum of $3,000 of the award funds must be allocated directly to the artist as a stipend. Remaining funds may be spent on production, presentation, community engagement, supplies, and so forth. If your project budget is more than $10,000, then we ask that you demonstrate other support for the project, such as other grants, in-kind contributions, or earned income up here in the income section of the budget form. In the next section, applicants will be asked to upload work samples and supporting materials for their application. Here you will upload work samples from the last 10 years of your artistic practice that demonstrate the quality of your artwork. We highly encourage you to provide samples that are more closely related to your proposed project, and for audio, video, and images that you submit the highest quality or highest resolution samples of your artwork that you have. If you're a visual artist, please provide no more than 7 work samples. For performance, audio, film, or video-based work samples, please provide no more than 3 files, and we ask that your 3 files are no longer than 10 minutes combined for review. If you do not have an audio or video file, you may upload a document with a web link. Just ensure that you provide any passwords that are needed to access that link. And also include the starting cue where necessary. For example, start at 1 minute, end at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Writers will upload work samples totaling no more than 7 pages combined for review. To upload files in this section, simply click Choose File and then select the file from your computer to attach to your application. After you do that, a very simple form will pop up where you can provide descriptive information for each one of your work samples, such as the title, date, medium, description, and so forth. The accepted file types that you can upload are listed here directly in the application. Next, you'll upload your artist resume or CV. Please ensure that your resume relates to your artistic career and practice and not to other areas of your professional work. An artist resume will typically include your artistic training and education, any presentations, publications, exhibitions, or markets that you have participated in, awards and funding that you've received, residencies, and so on. Next, you'll upload 1 letter of recommendation from a teacher or mentor, an arts organization, college or university, or a tribal entity or council. If you have an artist website, you may enter that in here, but please note that does not affect your application in any way. Lastly, you'll be asked to provide documentation of your native heritage or citizenship. We have detailed information here directly in the application form about what types of documentation are acceptable to provide. Once you've completed all of these sections, please go back and review all of your work very carefully. Ensure that you've answered all the required questions and uploaded all the required materials. If you did not, when you hit submit, you'll be prompted to go back to those sections and complete them. Ensure that you give yourself plenty of time to complete the application form and submit it before the deadline in case you run into any technical issues or errors and need support. If when you hit submit, you receive an error message or your application form does not go through and you think that you've completed all of the sections, please try clearing your browser's cache, closing your browser, reopening it, logging back into Submittable, and that should resolve the issue. But if you continue to have issues, you may contact support@submittable.com, or you can email or call me and we'd be happy to help you as best as we can. Also, we understand that there may be different challenges for applicants in using an online application form or in accessing the internet. So when appropriate, NACF is open to video submissions or alternative forms of submitting your proposal. Just please reach out to myself or Ruben and we can assist you with that. And any other questions that you may have about the LIFT program or application process. So thank you so much for your time and going through the application with me. And I will pass the mic back to Ruben.
Thank you, Laura. Please be sure to mark your calendars. The deadline is a little more than a month from now, on March 16th, 2022. And also be sure to note the contact information. If you have any questions regarding the eligibility or the criteria or anything regarding the content of your application, including the narrative and the work samples, please contact me. You can see my email listed there. Or if you have any questions about the online application, please contact Laura and you see her email listed there. So with that, thank you for coming to the webinar. I'm going to go ahead and answer some live questions now. I hope this was informative for you, and we're looking forward to seeing your applications.